To anyone going through a breakup, I feel for you. I've been there. It's crazy to just spend so much time with someone and then suddenly cut them off and move on like they never existed. That hurts. And it's actually proven the discomfort from breakups actually activates the same areas in the brain as physical pain. It is like an injury, and like one, it will take time to heal. But in this video, we'll chat about what you're going through. We'll touch on some things that I found useful to process this whole thing. And we'll also touch on what is the right thing to do if you are trying to get back with them. But before that, feel free to reach out to me or leave a comment if you need somebody to talk to. Or I'll also have the breakup related subreddits and discords linked in the description too. Now, I don't know your situation. Maybe some of you were the ones that ended things, but it's crucial to understand how much your brain is working against you. You are wired to grow this incredibly strong attachment for the evolutionary purpose of reproduction. Often this discomfort is more coming from the feeling of loss than you actually missing them. You can feel this way for people that you shouldn't be with. And your brain doesn't stop there. First, we experience something called the peak end rule bias, which means you'll remember the relationship more at its peak than the majority of parts which may have sucked. Then there's rosy retrospection, which states that due to how memories are recorded, we often recall the past more positively than it actually was. Then there's the hot-cold empathy gap, where you'll massively underestimate how strongly emotions affect our ability to think clearly. And finally, there's the loss aversion bias, meaning you'll gloss over any upsides of the breakup due to how we perceive losses as more impactful than equivalent gains. So essentially, your mind is doing everything possible to work against you. The flood of memories, repeated thought cycles, the hollowness, the incredibly powerful dreams, it's all scrambling your mind and feelings regardless of the actual quality of the relationship. So what to do now? Well, I'm one to think that all breakups actually happen for a good reason. If you were the one broken up with, you may not believe that because you're thinking, well, if I had acted differently, especially towards the end, been more caring, whatever, that we might still have been together. But you didn't. You need to accept that you are on your own path, and one that may even end up exceeding theirs. You just weren't compatible. Things just didn't line up. But it is an incredible opportunity to create a new foundation. These negative, horrible feelings can actually fuel your momentum if you let them. For me, during breakups, I always found that just being around others helps a lot. So this can be a great excuse for you to meet new friends. And glowing up and hitting the gym is cliche, but it does help a lot. And you can actually do that and meet new people if you join a fitness group, maybe a hiking group, and that can be exactly what you need. Now, one of the biggest eye-openers for me was recognizing how much my personality was molded by them. But it wasn't due to growth. As Jim Rohn says, we naturally become the average of the people that we spend the most time with. So you may think they're perfect for you due to how similar you two are, but a big part of that is just because you spent so much time together. Over the following months, you will begin to rediscover these core things about yourself. But I know many of you are still committed to do one of two things. Number one, trying to get back with them. Or number two, immediately looking for someone else to date. If I can't convince you not to keep chasing them, at least give it 3 years before reaching out again. It'll provide the peace of mind to combat those feelings right now. But odds are strong, in just a matter of months, you won't really care that much about them. As for seeing other people, that can be a great idea, but of course, remember, you can't really compare feelings and attachment of somebody that you were with for months or years to somebody you just met. But before I go, I want you to keep in mind that there's a precise amount of discomfort and pain that's necessary to feel before you're back to normal. So every moment you feel this way is a step forward towards not. And to those who think they need closure, you're really just looking for relief from the pain. That closure comes from within and not some final chat with your ex. And lastly, I know many of you met them through your friends or through your work. So can you really say they're the one when you're only dating people who fell into your life? What if you really applied yourself to meeting others and actually having the balls to ask them out? Like statistically, you haven't even scratched the surface. You have no idea what you're capable of. So in the end, the only path is forward. Do what you can to endure this moment, but remember the passage of time is your greatest ally. Talk to you next week. Peace.